close your eyes. Imagine the deepest, darkest fear you can conjure. Is it fire? Falling? No.
The year is 1898. You are lying in a velvet-lined box. And the crushing, shocking realization hits you.
You've been buried alive!
Doctors struggled to distinguish between coma, seizure, or true death. The uncertainty drove the populace mad.
This primal terror demanded a solution. It took a man of science and profound empathy to answer the call.
Meet Dr. Johann Steinfeld. His ultimate design, the Safety Coffin, was a masterpiece of Victorian paranoia. A sturdy cord, delicately attached to the finger of the deceased. This cord was their single layer of hope. This system required more than technology. It required unwavering commitment. A watchman was hired.
His job, the Totenwächter, or Death Watcher. His sole, untold task,
listening to the silence, waiting for a sound that signaled a miracle, or the most shocking horror imaginable. For many, the Safety Coffin was mocked. But for people haunted by trauma, like Elara Varga, it was everything.
Her younger brother had been buried suddenly, years ago. A rapid illness. But doubt had always lingered.
She offered a plot for an extended test. A symbolic resting place secured with a Safety Coffin, empty of course.
Days turned into nights. The bell was silent. Steinfeld feared the air itself seemed to mock the weight. Did the terror of premature burial belong only to strange history? The Totenwächter was paid to watch, but human endurance has limits. Sleep was a constant, dangerous enemy.
But then, on the 7th night, just as dawn was threatening the horizon,
Klaus jolted upright. His blood ran cold. It was the sound he was paid to listen for, but the one he never expected to hear. He sprinted to the enclosure. The rope was not swaying in the wind. It was taut. Something was pulling it from inside the earth. Steinfeld and Elara arrived, alerted by the continuous, desperate signal. Panic mixed with a terrifying scientific validation. They grabbed shovels, fueled by terror and a terrifying hope.
This was the symbolic grave. The coffin should have been empty. What in the name of strange history was happening?
The small crowd gathered was silent, their eyes fixed on the vibrating rope. A community witnessing an unbelievable, terrifying sign. They had reached the lid. The digging stopped. The final, horrifying moment of the experiment had arrived.
They ripped the lid open. Was it a miracle? A terrifying rebirth? Or a weird prank played by fate?
Silence. The bell stopped. The coffin was empty, just as it should have been. But the lifeline was damaged. No body, no miracle, just the terrifying evidence of movement. What force had triggered the alarm from the inside?
Steinfeld traced the cord to its origin. Not a panicked hand, but a tiny hole, freshly chewed through the coffin's silk lining.
Inside, tangled hopelessly in the cord, was the culprit. A tiny, startled field mouse.
it was a sudden, enormous wave of relief. The alarm was real, but the terror was not.
The mouse, in its terrified struggle to escape the velvet trap, had rung the alarm bell for over 30 seconds.
It was a false alarm, yes, but it was also a proof. Something so small could trigger the system. A human certainly could.
The safety coffin never fully caught on. It was deemed too expensive, too bizarre.
And public confidence in modern medicine slowly began to grow, relegating the invention to the dusty pages of strange history.
Its legacy remains. I am not done yet. It forces us to ask, was the fear truly gone? Or
Steinfeld had failed to commercialize the coffin, but he succeeded in his true goal, restoring dignity to the dead and peace to the living. This strange, untold chapter is a powerful reminder of how human terror can fuel the most ingenious, weird inventions. Though the bells are silent now, that primal, cold dread, the fear of a final mistake, remains universal.
It makes you think. How much confidence do you place in the final word of science? What if you woke up?
Tell us the most shocking piece of history driven by fear. Imagine the mouse's panic, trapped in a dark velvet chamber, fighting the threads that bound it to the bell.
Elara Varga. Finally, the bell had peace.
Mus musculus. For the inventor, it was a data point. Proof that the lifeline needed to be sheathed in something tougher than...
The true cost of this invention wasn't the metal. It was the price paid by societies gripped by this primal, paralyzing fear.
Today, the Vigil coffin is a museum curiosity. A relic of an age defined by extreme scientific vulnerability.
Think of that thin cord, a fragile line of silk, holding the entire weight of a person's life and a community's sanity. That sound, the ring of the rescue bell, remains one of the most powerful and bizarre symbols of human fear and human ingenuity. That final question lingers. How much faith do we put in the unseen finality?
For Elara, the incident closed a chapter. The mouse was a ridiculous, bizarre...
The genius of the invention was not in its execution, but in its recognition of the most fundamental human right. Though the bell is silent, its shadow serves as a warning. The past is never truly buried. As one writer noted, the last great certainty of life is death, but the last great terror is the uncertainty of death. Think about it. Even today, do you carry that ancient dread? Has science truly silenced the fear? Thank you for watching this untold piece of history. Follow for more strange, cinematic stories that reveal the secrets of the past. If you were hooked by this strange, untold history, join our community. Your support keeps these stories alive. Note, this cinematic breakdown and story are 100% original and unique. Visuals are conceptualized for AI video generation. Sometimes, the simplest fears are the ones that never truly die. They just wait for the light to flicker.